If you've been using Microsoft Teams for a while now, then I'll guarantee that you're going to be using the chat function. The reason for that is that it's very easy and informal way of being able to communicate with peers and other business partners. Yes, you can use both internally and externally, assuming your company allows that, to have chat conversations. From a business perspective, it's really useful because these things can be logged and they can be subject to e-discovery and other searches should that be needed. It's stored within the company system, right? It's also nice and easy and convenient because you've got Teams running anyway, so you can be able to go and chat. It sets your presence and people can actually be able to get in touch with you should they have a question, rather than pinging you an email and hoping they get a reply. You know, they're more likely real-time responses through Teams, and then it gives you the other advantage of when you're having a chat of just tapping a button and you can either call them via phone or video right there within the experience. You also have the ability to do other things like share images and files, etc. Files only work if you're sharing internally, of course, and other aspects there. There's another little feature, if you haven't found it already. It's that little icon right next to the send icon on the far right of your message bar for when you type in your chat, where you can send a 60-second video. That can sometimes be much more efficient than typing things out. But chat is designed for short, sharp messages without too much context and longevity. It's for the moment. Yet, a lot of people use this for long-term conversations. They use it for sharing critical business information and ways of doing things for the long term. And there's a problem with that. The problem is that chat gets caught up. It's a stream of consciousness. And anything older than a few days or hours or a number of messages just disappears off the top of the chat and we don't see it again. And you can search it, but it's not really easy. And often the conversations can get out of context and thread. It's very easy to get confused, especially as a newcomer coming into a very busy chat with lots of participants in there. There's lots of noise. It's like going into a bar and trying to have a private conversation with, you know, one or two people, but there's all this other noise going around that's distracting you. So how do we fix that? And can we? The simple answer is yes, we can. So let's just dive across here into Teams. Now, this is the chat environment. This is a demo environment that that I work with. So there's not a lot of activity. My own business one has lots of conversations. Some of them are private, hence why I'm not sharing them. So we know how chat works. You'll see down the bottom here, there's lots of all these different icons, etc. And that's that little icon I was talking about in the corner here, right? Record a video clip. Cool. So how do we now grow up from chat? Where do we go? Well, the answer is Teams. Hang on a minute. We're already in Teams, aren't we? No, I mean the teams within Teams. It starts to get pretty meta pretty quick. Anyway, bear with me. So we go across to our Teams. And what we can see here, and this is what you would have been experiencing, is every time you go and open up a team, it opens up on the Posts tab. And you think, well, what's all this about? This is where you set your conversations. So in this particular case, I've thrown together a little demo about the holiday season, right? And you can see we can put in little comments, we can do our emojis, we can edit it. We can see more, so I can actually play the little clip, etc. So, yeah, Santa's going on his little sleigh. There we go. You know, for those who don't celebrate Christmas, you get the idea, right? But we can also post in multiple channels. So you can see I've posted this in multiple other channels as well. So how does this work and why would you do it? So the first thing is for starting a post, it's like crafting an email. Yes, I did say that emails were bad and we probably don't want to send those emails, but we can craft a conversation out like just the same way we create an email. Bonus tip here is in Outlook, there's a button there where you can take an email and immediately turn that into a post, right? Look for it. I'll show it in another video, but that's not for today. But you can find that email and share that directly in a Teams channel. I'll take all the content of the email, including attachments, and post it away. You'll see here we've got our rich text and all that sort of stuff that we can do. We can also attach files and a bunch of other things. We can also change the type from being a post to an announcement. What's the difference? Not really much. An announcement is really designed more to get people's attention. A post you're expecting a reply on. That's it, right? That's really the main differences between the two. We also have our ability here on who can reply. So we control to say that we only want you and moderators, and we can also post in multiple channels. And that's multiple channels within your team, but also across all the other teams you have access to. So you just stick it at the subject and off we go, and we go and post that. So but the advantage of posting is a few things. Number one, it's in context. So we already know that this is in a company-wide announcement, so therefore it's in the company one. If I go across here into sales, we've got our marketing, a sales-specific conversations. You'll see that because I posted this one across, you'll see that same message here that I posted earlier, right? And you'll see here that when I reply specifically to that post. So posts are threaded conversations. They have context. This is the important detail for posts. This is why they're more powerful than just a group chat. Group chat gets messy, there's no context, it's not threaded, and it's very easy to get out of context. Posts are very specific to that team and the people a part of it, as well as any post that goes there, conversations are replied to those particular items. So we can start threading these conversations. Right, and then you can copy links, etc. You can share these, you can create polls and all sorts of other stuff. There's lots of other capabilities, but I can reply to those conversations. Now remember, we've got the same capabilities where we can @ everyone. I think, no, @ so we can @ the team. So you can't @ everyone, but you can @ the team. You can @ people, so Isaiah, we can stick in our little emojis, and off we go, it sends that. You'll see that this is in context to that particular topic. It's not related to this test post or the holiday season post. So we know exactly what it's in relation to when we see that particular post. This is why posts are much more important. So if you haven't started using the Teams post and chat conversations, start doing so today. The next thing that I really want to highlight on, which is a risk that you run with just keeping everything within your chats. When you share a file in a chat, the person who shares it, it's stored within their OneDrive. This means that when that person leaves and their OneDrive gets archived, that file is lost. Yes, it is lost. People no longer have access to that after that's been archived. Now, we set an extended period for archiving OneDrives to sort of help mitigate this risk, but it still exists. When you share files in a team, it remains with the team. The team has ownership. In fact, if I just quickly go back, that's what the Files tab is for. You've always been wondering what you're supposed to put in there. Anything that is shared within the within that team post as a file goes straight in here. So you always have access to it. Alrighty? If you haven't started using posts within your teams, start using Teams the way it was designed and is meant to be enjoyed. Hope you found that useful, and let me know your experience with using Teams and posting, and whether or not the chat conversation piece is a problem in your business. Anyway, bye for now.